Football is a sport enjoyed by many. People all across the world spend hours watching, talking and playing the beautiful game. And there is no tournament quite like the FIFA World Cup, where every 4 years the best players from the best leagues all come together and fight for their nation, for a chance to win the biggest trophy on planet Earth. Just a handful of nations have had the pleasure of holding this trophy: Argentina, Germany, France, Spain, but none of them have won more than Brazil, the birthplace of legends like Pelé, R9 and Ronaldinho. No nation lives and breathes football quite like them. Almost every kid dreams of becoming the next Neymar. This sport holds the country together, and once every 4 years, it's the only thing anyone here cares about. But before we look ahead to 2026, let's rewind where it all first began.
This is Brazil!
Their success started in 1958, when a 17-year-old from Sao Paulo danced through a Swedish team to win the country's first ever World Cup. Pelé became a global sensation and the face of Brazilian football for years to come, cementing his legacy as one of the greatest players ever seen. And this was just the beginning. They were soon seen as a nation that played the game like no one else, fast, creative and of course to entertain. And in 1970 they reached perfection. The whole world watched in awe as Pelé, Jairzinho and Carlos Alberto destroyed the opposition, winning their third World Cup. In 2002 they were still as dominant as ever, still the most feared squad in the world. This was the year of Rivaldo, Ronaldinho and most importantly Ronaldo Nazario, a player who made sure to carry the nation's high expectations. R9 was one of the most gifted strikers ever, and he helped Brazil to their 5th World Cup and their last since. Years later, the magic in attack was still as prominent, with players like Kaká and Neymar lighting up the pitch. But unfortunately, trophies were less and less common. Other teams seemed to be adapting and getting stronger. In 2014, the promising Brazil fell short, marking the start of a painful decline. This generation of players were filled with talent, and hosting this year's World Cup, it all seemed to be in their favour. They had the most exciting team in a while and got far, but towards the end, with an injured Neymar, their luck seemed to run out. Despite this devastating loss, the squad was still strong, still capable, only if their next opponent wasn't the deadly Germany. The 5-time world champions suffered the most embarrassing defeat in World Cup history. Now, it's no surprise they had just lost. I mean, Germany looked unstoppable and did end up winning the tournament after all. But 7-1, that's just another level of embarrassment. The World Cup wasn't just a bad performance, but a wake-up call for the entire nation, exposing the truth. Brazil's golden era was long gone. 2018 told a similar story. They arrived with a stacked squad and renewed belief, but against Belgium in the quarterfinals they struggled to break through a strong defence. And despite a late push, they fell short in a match defined by missed opportunities. Qatar 2022 was around the corner, and with so much strength elsewhere, they were no longer favourites, but still contenders. Having one of the best squads, at least on paper, Brazil were finally playing like Brazil again. Beautiful goals, incredible skills, it was all there.
He'll take it! Rafinha! 1-0 Brazil!
In the quarterfinal, they faced Croatia. Everyone agreed Brazil would destroy them. They had the stars and the momentum. Croatia, however, proved to be a different kind of challenge. Patient, organised and incredibly hard to break down. Brazil dominated possession and chances, but failed to convert until extra time.
That's what we've been waiting for!
And just when it looked to be done, a late equaliser and a penalty defeat shattered their hopes. So, what's wrong with Brazil? Are they just unlucky? And is this year going to be the same? Well, every 4 years it only seems to be getting harder and harder, not just for Brazil, but everyone. With so much quality around the world, there are several teams that look like possible contenders. The reality is only one nation goes home successful, and I think this generation has the best chance to be that team since 2002. Here's why, and it's the same reason they haven't won in so long. One word: balance. Now, we already know there's no shortage of Brazilians in attack. I don't think there ever has been. But the midfield and defence have always seemed mediocre in comparison, and no matter what you have up front, attackers don't win games alone, even if it's Vinicius, Neymar and Rafinha. But this year is different. In midfield, you have an informed Casemiro and a reliable Bruno Guimaraes, both defensive-minded CDMs that can sit back and prevent counterattacks when Vini loses the ball for the 6th-7th time. When it comes to defence, Brazil arguably have the best centre-back pairing in the entire tournament, Marquinhos and Gabriel. They are both key figures for their clubs, featuring week in, week out at the highest level. In fact, they just went head-to-head in a Champions League final, which says a lot about their quality. This partnership is a major reason why Brazilians are so optimistic about their chances. Just don't give Gabriel a penalty. Flanking them are two fullbacks who are solid, but arguably the weakest part of the team. On the left you have experienced but aging Alexandro, who's likely to start, while on the right is Roma's young, talented Wesley Vinicius. Not world-class options, but still dependable. It's really positive off the bench too, with strong options depending on the game and the opposition, which becomes a huge factor over the course of the tournament. Brazil have real depth in reserve, with Gabriel Martinelli, Bremer, Lucas Paqueta, Danilo, Igor Thiago and Endrick. You could argue the midfield is slim pickings, but genuinely I don't think either Casemiro or Bruno are subbed off most games. Tactically, the bench gives Brazil so many different ways to approach matches. They can shift systems, change intensity, or completely alter the style mid-game depending on what's needed. That kind of squad depth could be decisive. Another huge difference this year is the arrival of Brazil's new manager, Carlo Ancelotti, one of the most successful managers the game has ever seen. He left Real Madrid with one final goal in mind, winning the World Cup, and clearly he believes Brazil have what it takes. Ancelotti has won just about everything there is to win at club level, and if you don't know who he is, you're probably American. Tactically, he's not as obsessive as someone like Pep Guardiola, nor as intense as Hansi Flick. Where he truly stands out is his ability to manage people. His players love him, and few managers are better at getting the absolute best out of every single talent available. He builds systems around his players' strengths, rather than forcing them into a rigid style. So if there's any manager capable of delivering Brazil another World Cup, he's certainly one of the best candidates, even if his call-up list was a little controversial. Still, it's nothing compared to England's Thomas Tuchel though. Now the big question, does Neymar play? And the simple answer is yes, but does he start, and is everything built around him like in the past? That's unlikely. But even without being fully fit, Neymar brings a massive value on and off the pitch. He's still to this day one of the most dangerous players in the world with the ball at his feet. No matter the opponent, he has the ability to change a game instantly. His influence goes beyond football. He's an icon in this squad, someone every player looks up to growing up, watching him tear down teams apart with style. Off the pitch, he brings motivation, belief, and emotion that few others can match, besides maybe Messi. With his injury record, this might be Neymar's final shot, his last chance to chase the dream, and Brazil's dream for him. I myself would love nothing more than to see the prince become the king. Can he do it? Yes. Will he do it? Let's find out. But finally, I thought I'd just show how I think Ancelotti plans to line up his team. If it's a classic 4-4-2, I'd imagine the front to look something like this, and the midfield to have two central defensive midfielders and one cam, where hopefully Neymar can start some games, with a more realistic option being Matheus Cunha and Igor Thiago up front for a classic striker. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like and let me know what you think. Thanks.